When I started my career in banking, I was in a management training program. The program consisted of doing 3 rotations throughout various departments within the bank and ultimately posting in one or being offered a position within one within a year's time. In my second rotation, I unwittingly received a poor performance review. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Mitchell Early. I help individuals and teams achieve organizational and personal success by providing customized training, resources, tips, and tools to help you pursue purpose and accomplish your goals. If you're looking to grow and evolve personally and professionally, hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. This is Leadership Matters. I personally believe that I received that poor review because I was interested in posting into another area of the bank, retail banking, which I ultimately did. Nevertheless, when I was presented with this poor performance review, I did not sign it. My dad, who was an elected official and union steward, had advised me not to sign a performance review if I did not agree with it. Instead, he told me to bring it home for review and to attach a rebuttal or explanation to it as an addendum and then sign it. This way, individuals reviewing my employment record or employee file would also see my addendum along with the poor review. As an aside, I found throughout my career that many people believe that they have to sign poor reviews or write-ups to be included in their employee file. This is not true. According to SHRM.com, the Society for Human Resource Management, an employee may refuse to sign because the employee A, disagrees with the content, or B, thinks that the document is not valid without the signature. These situations lead to a few options. Employees may add a statement above the signature line that says, "By signing, I acknowledge that I received a copy of this document. My signature does not necessarily indicate agreement with its contents." If the employee disagrees with a warning or part of the evaluation, supervisors can encourage the individual to provide a written response to be added or attached to the original document, like I did with my addendum, though I have to say I've never been advised by an employer to do so. Also, if the supervisor believes the information is accurate, yet the employee still refuses to sign the document, they could have a third-party witness confirm that the employee is familiar with the document, yet refuses to sign it, and then write on the form that the, quote, employee refused to sign, end quote, and sign and date this statement. The witness also signs and dates this statement. While your employer can't force you to sign the performance document, there may be consequences for refusing to do so. For one, your employer could fire you for refusing to sign, and your refusal to sign may disqualify you from receiving unemployment benefits. In this example, I did finally sign the poor evaluation, but only after I provided a written response. So back to me writing the addendum. After I wrote my addendum to be attached to the performance review, which was basically an explanation or reasons why I did not consider my actions or inaction, depending on the circumstance, to have merited a poor evaluation. Please know that I have always been big on having supporting evidence to factually and concretely support my position. This incident was no different. In short, I made sure that I had receipts. Of course, with this being my first job out of college, my parents helped me to craft a compelling and thorough response. Once I completed writing it, my dad had my uncle, who was an SVP at Colgate at the time, read it. My uncle, who had spent his entire career at Colgate, said, Jen, what this says is you failed because they failed. In his estimation, the leadership of that department had failed to give me the tools necessary to succeed. I was young. It was my first job out of college, and to be honest, I didn't exactly know what he was talking about. I was just happy that he didn't think that I was a failure. After having worked as a learning and development professional and consultant for the last 25 years, I now know exactly what he meant. I failed because they failed to show me the ropes, teach me the trade, follow up, ensure that I knew what I was doing, and most importantly, to set expectations and ensure that I understood what was expected of me and how to go about meeting those expectations. If I had $1 for every time a senior or middle manager told me an expectation that had been set that their workforce knows, that their workforce didn't actually know, buy into, or give a flying fig about, I'd be rich. I tell leaders all the time, you, together with stakeholders, board members, investors, and the like, set and or initiate expectations, but it's the front line, the employees, that carry them out. All you have to do is look at an organization that has its mission, vision, and values plastered all over the place and watch the behavior or performance of their employees and resulting reputation of the company to know that while the marketing is on point, it does not align with the culture of the organization. Simply stated, it's another nice, catchy, yet empty slogan. It is a leader's job and responsibility to set expectations that are clear, to ensure that they are clearly communicated and received. When leaders don't set expectations, it undermines performance and results within a team, but also impacts negatively on engagement, relationships, and teamwork. Everyone has seen senior managers announce major directional changes or new goals without spelling out credible plans for achieving them or specifying who's accountable. Robert H. Schaefer asserted in the article, "Demand better results than get them," Harvard Business Review, December 1974, more than 35 years ago, that setting expectations that actually evoke maximum performance was executives' single weakest skill, and he still believes the same today. Nothing has changed. In all the organizations he observed, managers commit several transgressions when making demands of their people, including setting faulty expectations by never establishing specific goals or explicit plans for achieving them. What's worse, senior managers often pass the buck, citing that the problem exists within those unable to carry out the expectations rather than a lack of insight into their own behavior. When leaders don't set expectations, it can lead to serious employee relations problems, including grievances, destructive conflict, and unfair dismissal claims, which can be very costly for the organization. Additionally, not setting clear expectations can cause project delays, decreased employee morale, miscommunication, and inconsistent quality of work. Whether leaders are intentionally unclear, expect too much, or come across as micromanaging, a lot can go wrong when a leader tries to clarify what is expected of employees. In the Forbes article, 13 Right Ways for Leaders to Set Expectations with Employees, the members of the Forbes Coaches Council highlight 13 right ways to set expectations with employees. 1, provide clarity, context, and alignment. Setting expectations is critical in leadership, and research shows many executives are missing the mark on this key element. When setting expectations with employees, it's important to give context. Knowing the why and how they play an integral role in the bigger picture not only creates buy-in, but also allows for greater commitment to the work, to the team, and to reaching the goal. 2, speak in plain words that uplift. Feedback sessions are so important, and the manner of the conversation is critical for ensuring alignment between the messaging that is meant to be delivered versus the messaging that is perceived. If it is perceived incorrectly, employees stumble. Communicate in language and words that are not easily misjudged or confused by speaking plainly, while also being mindful about using words that uplift rather than subvert. 3, ask rather than tell. How would you feel if you didn't have clarity around what was expected of you? How committed would you be to meeting expectation that you co-created versus an expectation that was thrust upon you? How would you feel if your manager trusted you to make these sorts of decisions? Leaders who adopt a coaching approach and ask rather than tell will get more buy-in and commitment from their people. 4, understand what success looks like. The right way to set expectations with employees is to understand what success looks like for them. Then align that vision with the expectations of their management and job responsibility. High performance can be achieved with constant communication and feedback amongst the parties as long as all stakeholders have a common denominator of achieving high performance and meeting a shared goal. 5. Be open about what expectations are and why. The right way to set expectations with employees is to be open about what those expectations are and why. Tell the employee how the expectation helps the leader be a better leader to the employee and team. Most times, employees appreciate expectations if they understand the reasoning behind the expectation and how it helps them. 6. Ensure that expectations are attainable. The best way to set expectations for employees is to make the goals reachable. Expectations have to be attainable and in alignment with the mission and vision of the company in order to be beneficial. Once in alignment and attainable, ensure they are able to be reverse engineered to achieve daily wins. These daily wins can be mutually beneficial to all parties involved. 7, include employees in the expectation setting process. Make it a partnership. Including the employee in the expectation setting process is a great way to ensure commitment versus compliance. Are they clear on the expectations of the role? What are their ideas for achieving the expectations? How would they measure their performance? Throughout the process, you are building their confidence and can encourage them to set the bar higher to achieve even more. 8, ask about employees' personal goals. Start by asking what the employee's personal goals are. Would they like a great bonus, a raise, a promotion, an opportunity to develop professionally? Talk to them about how meeting your expectations serves their short and long-term career goals and how you can support them in achieving them. Let them know that their personal success is as important to you as the success of the company. 9, communicate the vision clearly and simply. Clearly and simply communicate the organization's vision and team goals. Break that down further to explain what each employee's role is within the team and how that funnels into team goals. Ask the employees and get their opinions on what they can deliver and what they might find challenging. Explain what other support is available to help them deliver. 10. Explain and prioritize key performance indicators or KPIs from day one. The right way to set expectations with employees is to explain the key performance indicators in their interview and prioritize them beginning on day one. Evaluate their performance weekly with positive feedback and include constructive ways to improve. Never explode when things don't turn out the way you want. Own your leadership flaws. 11, invite an honest conversation. While having an honest conversation can be frightening, it also prevents problems from building into untenable pressures. People tend to avoid giving what seems like negative feedback. Therefore, expectations can come across sharply or as vague instructions. Being upfront with employees about everything, including what you don't know, as well as ownership of responsibilities, builds both respect and trust. 12, set the tone with a positive frame of mind. As a leader, it's critical for you to set the tone when holding these discussions with your employees. First, ensure you're in a positive frame of mind as the leader and engage your team with a curious mindset. Second, there need to be commitments set after each meeting so that you can continue to move things forward with your team and they can continue to develop toward their full potential. And finally, 13, trust people to meet expectations. Combine the expectations with a genuine belief that the person or team can and will accomplish what is expected, and that you, the leader, will always be available to help pave the way. Make sure they know that they are not in it alone. Remember, our teams fail when we as leaders fail to set expectations, give the necessary direction, guidance, and support, as well as fail to provide the required tools to do their jobs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.